I'm not gonna lie, going into 2024, I thought I was gonna be knocking out series left and right. Hey everyone, welcome back to Andrew's Wizardly Reads, and today, guys, we've got a series completion check-in here for you. But before we get into that, please do me a favor, like this video and subscribe to the channel, as it does help the channel grow. You can check the description box down below for links to all my social media, including links to the Discord, as well as my Patreon, if you want to help support what I do here on the channel. Your support is always greatly appreciated, and I just want to give a huge shout out to my patrons for helping me pursue my passions and my dream and just, I don't know, this fantastic hobby. But with that out of the way, guys, we're going to kind of do what I've finished already with one honorable mention, and then what I still hope to complete in 2024. What I can realistically, hopefully, expect to complete. Now, the honorable mention is The Gorgon Incident and Other Stories, because essentially this is a short story collection that was tacked onto the end of Mage Errant. That kind of takes place and covers 500 years worth of history within that world, including some of our characters. Some stories involving some of our characters. So I'm going to kind of put that as an honorable mention. It's got a gorgeous cover. This is by John Bierce. And I had already finished the series, but then this came out, and I was like, okay, we'll just kind of tack that on as an honorable mention. Now, we've got 5 series that I have finished this year so far, which is really good. I expected it to be more, and I'm kind of shocked that my plan didn't quite go the way I wanted it to. I'm not really that shocked, honestly. Like, it was always going to go sideways on me. But starting off the list, I have finished The Age of Assassins. This is Wounded Kingdom by R.J. Barker. R.J. Barker is an author that I absolutely have so much respect for. This is Gerton Clubfoot, and he is amazing. His story, his journey, it is heartrending. It is just, it's a journey. You better be strapped in and ready for it, because Gerton goes through a lot of anguish throughout this trilogy, but very, very good, and I can mark this one as complete. But taking me 2 years, we finished The Seven Kennings by Kevin Hearn, and I've got thoughts on the last book in this series, because, like, I liked the entire book as a whole, but the final book kind of, I don't know, it was a bit overlong. It felt a little bit like a playground gang up on somebody who decided to stand up for themselves a little bit, and then they just got pounded down, and then it ends with a crotch joke. So I don't know how I feel about the last book, but the first 2 books, super solid. Like, I really like this series. I like Kevin Hearn. I've also read his Iron Druid stuff. I still haven't finished that series. I've got like 2 books left in that series that I still need to finish, but yeah, I digress. It could make this list, except I didn't think about it when I pulled all the stuff off the shelf. Anyway, we've got Anthony Ryan's. This one is, I believe, Raven's Blade. Yeah, I had to look at the spine to see the series name, because, you know, I'm that good of a booktuber. I'm just, we run a professional operation here. This is Wolf's Call. Wolf's Call is one of the favorite books I've read this year. And, yeah, this one's amazing. I finished it out with Black Song, which, again, kind of an anticlimactic end, or maybe not anticlimactic. It didn't end the way I wanted it to end. I wanted this big, bombastic battle, and Anthony Ryan does something a little bit more clever than what the wizard could imagine. This is why I don't write books. I only read and review them. But, yes, I finished. This was a duology. I finished this one out, and Anthony Ryan continues to be an amazing, amazing writer, and I've read a lot of his books at this point. Yeah, a lot of books. And I will continue to keep reading his books because, again, the man is amazing. I am including this one because I did finish this trilogy. I actually finished this trilogy in an entire month. This is The War of Broken Mirrors by Andrew Rowe. This is Forging Divinity, and this one's really, really good. Talion is just an interesting kind of, I don't know. He's such an interesting character. I like his moral code, and then when we kind of put him together with Lydia Hastings and the entire crew that we kind of get to know throughout the trilogy, this one just, it's so incredibly good, and it's where I recommend you start the kind of Arcane Ascension universe, because this is where it all stems from, is kind of right here. And man, like Talion and just where he's come throughout the kind of interconnected universe and the linked stories, very, very good. So I finished this one. And then J.A. Andrews, The Keeper Chronicles. And this one I just started out with, I was backing the Kickstarters, and then I received this fantastic edition from my patron, Doug. Doug, thank you so much. This gave me the kick in the pants to finish the entire trilogy instead of just waiting for the Kickstarters to release, which I'm still going to be backing those Kickstarters because I love this series. I am more than happy to have an omnibus edition as well as the Kickstarter editions on my shelves. This is just Wizard Librarians. It's an interconnected series. Each one has its own standalone protagonist. We've got Alaric, Eric, and then, what's the last one's name? Cinny. I had to look at the back, but Cinny. And we follow each of these protagonists as they have their own trials and tribulations and their own adventures. And I love this one so much. Cinny's is very good because she kind of struggles with self-worth and fitting in. And then Eric wants to, no, it's Will. It's not Eric, it's Alaric. Will wants to kind of just find his lost sister. And then Alaric is trying to save his wife. And in each adventure, it's just something so incredible and readable and bingeable. And it's just well written, and I want more people to read this. Anyway, so that's what I've finished so far. What I can still realistically hope to finish this year is, I mean, it's a bit of a stretch because I've been feeling called to come back to the series. At the time I was reading the series, I had lost somebody close to me. And just when you're kind of dealing with grief, reading grimdark usually isn't the go-to option. At least it isn't for me. But We Are the Dead. I'm currently on Fool's Hope. I really enjoyed We Are the Dead. And I really want to finish the Last War trilogy so that I can kind of say that I finished it and read it and experienced it. I know a lot of my friends have really enjoyed this series, and I want to as well. So Last War, hopefully I can finish this year. If not, I will at least have read Fool's Hope, hopefully by the end of the year. I know I'm finishing this next one because I'm reading it next month. That's Mistress of the Empire. This is by Janie Warts and Raymond E. Feist. I just read book 2. I really enjoyed it. It took me 2 tries to get through it just because there's a little bit of a genre shift between book 1 and book 2. And then once I acclimated to that shift, book 2 was great. This is the end of the trilogy, of the Empire trilogy, and then I can dive back into not only more Janie Wirtz, but also more Raymond E. Feist, as I've bought 5 more Raymond E. Feist books just within the last month, just because I started reading this again. So yes, I love the Empire trilogy. Book 1 is one of my favorite books of all time. Book 2 doesn't make that list of favorites of all time, but it's still a really strong, really solid book. So yes, I thought I was going to already be done with this next one. I was certain I was going to be done, and I can still finish it this year. I just need to make the effort to come back to it. That's Rachel Aaron's Eli Monpress books. This is Spirit War, where I'm currently at. This is book 4 of 5. I got about 20% into this, and I just kind of got called away to something else. You know, I did the typical wizard, squirrel. And so this one, again, Eli Monpress, very good writing. Rachel Aaron is one of my favorite writers working right now. She's amazing. She's entertaining. There's witty characters. There's banter. There's rapport. There's motley crew. I'm here for it all. And she's still got like 2 or 3 other series that I am just dying to check out. So this is definitely one I can finish this year as well. And then, of course, we've got Draai. I've read 9 of the 11 Draai books. I'm currently on book 10. I can't remember if this is book 10 or book 11. I can never remember, but I've got White Wolf and the Sword of Night. The Swords. There we go. Swords of Night and Day left in this series, and I should be able to knock that out fairly easily. It's just, I did a video recently. Y'all voted for me to continue this series. I will be continuing this series. I just struggle sometimes with finishing something that I've just invested so emotionally into for 9 books. And so, yeah, that is on the list as well. And then finally, a KJ Parker trilogy. This is How to Rule an Empire and Get Away with It. I believe this is book number 2. No? Book number 2? I did grab book number 2. I've got, can I see it from here? A Practical Guide to, I believe it's Conquering the World is book number 3. That's all I need to read in order to finish this out. I like the wry humor of KJ Parker, So this could easily be like a palate cleanser trilogy, and then I could just mark it off as complete. And if I were to do that and read all of these, then with everything that I've just mentioned in this video alone, I would have completed 10 series with one honorable mention if we want to make it 11. But I would consider that a lot of series wrapped up within a year where I had just so many on-the-go series. And I don't know how many of these I started this year. I think I started that last year. I definitely didn't start this year. I believe I started that last year. Late last year, I think I started this one. And then I think I started Keeper Chronicles this year. Forging of Divinity was this year. Wolf's Call was this year. Plague of Giants was not this year. And neither was Age of Assassins. So I'll be wrapping up stuff from this year as well as from previous years. And I can just mark those series off on my shelves as complete, read, and it'll be in my back catalog. So that's all I've really got for today, guys. Let me know what series you're hoping to finish this year in the comments down below. How many do you think you'll finish in total? I'm really interested about that. And yeah, I look forward to chatting with you all. So till next time, peace out. Stay magical. Bye. And as always, I want to give a huge thank you to my patrons. Thank you for supporting my passion and my hobby.